Hello and welcome to this episode of Pointcounterpoint. We are here to debate and discuss an issue which has been literally burning in the villages and the rivers of Goa for a very, very long time. The topic at hand is the absolute destruction of our river beds, our forest areas, and in the interior areas of Goa, due to the rampant sand mining activities that have been going on, and we would say for years and years, in spite of very strong activism and court intervention. It almost seems that the people who are carrying out sand mining have absolutely no concern, nor do they bother about directions of the court, the directions of the NGT, and as well as they seem to be flouting and completely ignoring even decisions taken by the state authorities, who in turn have gone to the NGT to give assurances that sand mining licenses are not being given and sand mining is not a legal activity. Now this line between legal and illegal seems to completely blur to the extent of absolutely vanishing and disappearing, as you know, when it comes to the sand mining mafia. Now this word mafia, we use this word with absolute responsibility because this is a word used by the honorable court. It's not an activist's definition of what sand mining is happening, but it is the honorable court which has time and again, or specifically in one instance, actually termed the rampant sand mining as an activity which is akin to what the mafia does. Of course, the topic is absolutely vast, but the trigger for this discussion at this point of time was a report, an investigation done by Herald TV and Herald in the month of May and June, where our team went into the absolute interior recesses of the Mahale Wildlife Sanctuary to get back absolutely unseen, exclusive, unprecedented footage, which left no doubt that irrespective of all the assurances given to various courts, there was sand mining going on in the interiors of those villages, and the evidence was far too stark for anybody to deny. We found mined sand kept in various places. We saw trucks at one or two places, and believe me, and these were deep interior villages of Mahale where nobody had any business to be there. The reaction we got from the local self-government authorities was that this sand is used for local construction in the village. Now, even if that is true, even if we take that as face value, even that is illegal. So the issue is, so illegality is not only rampant, illegality has become the new normal, and the normalization of this illegal activity is where the biggest danger is. And now, thankfully, and we must thank the High Court bench of the two honorable justices, Justice Sonak and his brother judge, for actually telling the forest department, directing the forest department through the AG to go and inspect the areas which were depicted by Herald in its report, and give back and come back with a detailed report, and then they said that if these reports are true, then serious action will be taken. Anyway, I'll go straight into this particular debate because a lot has to be discussed based on a lot of the things I've raised, but more so we will go into different nuances of this problem because they need to be thoroughly discussed. And we have with us four stakeholders. We can call them activists, we can call them stakeholders, but more importantly, the term that should be applied to all of them is that they are fighters and victims at the same time. Many of them are fighting for their villages. Some of them have had personal tragedies because of sand mining activity, and all of this has actually made them very, very strong and very resilient in fighting a force which seems to be kind of crushing Goa in many ways. On my right is VIRAJ BAKRE, who is a member of the River Sand Protectors Network, and he's somebody who has been very much a part of the litigation that has happened, which has led to a lot of reliefs that have been given so far as we speak. UDAY Mahale is also a member of the network and is an affected person from Perne. He is actually specifically from the Poroscodem village, but from the Perne Taluka. He is somebody who has also been a fighter of sorts and has seen his village and the river bodies get completely degraded over a period of time. On my left is Ashok Shirodkar, also a member of the network. He is from Volvoi in Ponda Taluka. Again, somebody who has been battling. He has become even more vociferous and even more stringent in his fight after a deep personal tragedy that and he got very badly impacted because of that personal tragedy, and if he chooses to speak about it, then we will hear him on that issue. Last on my left is Mr. LUEL Fernandes, who's again a member of the network. He's from Chandor, and I think he does a lot of his work in the Cavorim area.
Chandor area.
In Chandor Cavorim area. Yes. So all this is this is these are the other people who know about this issue much more than any of us do. I'll start with VIRAJ BAKRE. Can you I don't have a specific question, but a quick response to a lot of the points I've laid out.
We are one of the first litigants in this sand mining case. We had filed our public interest litigation through Rainbow Warriors. That was in 2018. 14/2018 was our number, and the case was heard for almost 2 years, and we got a very good judgment. Our prayer was that we didn't ask for any stoppage or anything. We just requested the court to see that whatever the rules are there, environmental clearance rules are there, those are followed, and the extraction is done in a sustainable manner, which was not being done. So we had given complaint to all the departments, but they were not taking cognizance. So ultimately, when the court asked, the department told that yes, we are not following, and we don't have the proper mechanism. Like a simple thing is that whenever the sand extraction is done, it should not be below 3 meters.
Right.
So there was no mechanism. An affidavit was filed where they said that we don't have any mechanism to check the depth of the river. Then this is the basic thing which they should have followed. So this is what we got a good order, and then subsequently what happened is the order was not being followed. So through Goa Foundation, the contempt petition was filed in 2020, 3/2020, which was again disposed of, and again we have to file a contempt petition. Means the government showed that we are taking action and it is under control, but it was not under control. So again, after 1 year, we filed another contempt petition, which is now being heard, and in which the Herald's report, they have taken the note of that.
I'll just quickly summarize some of the legal steps that have been taken, just for the benefit of viewers. In November 2021, I think in the Goa Sand Protectors Network, you filed an appeal before the tribunal, stating that the Goa State Environment Impact Assessment Authority had granted 4 environmental clearances for 4 blocks of sand mining, which were completely incorrect.
Yes.
Correct? I think some of them was, if I'm not mistaken, was in Shapora and all these areas.
Yes.
Mostly it was there. I'll just figure out. Yeah, one was in Morjin.
Yes.
The one was in Pirna. One was in Zone 6. One was in Agarwada. One was in Kamurli, and one was in Rebora. Around these areas.
Yes.
So
in Shapora River.
All around the Shapora area.
Yeah.
These are all
Yes.
licenses given around the Shapora river area, where so opposed this, I think once this happened, after you all moved the tribunal, and then I think you all moved the NGT after that as well, right?
Yes.
So the NGT ordered these licenses to be struck down.
No.
Oh, it's still going on, right?
The hearing is still going on.
Right.
And in fact, the government has failed to reply what the NGT wants.
Right.
See, why we went there is
Right.
on the report which on the Shapura river there is a report where it is mentioned on the last page in the last line there is no significant deposition of sand
this
in
is
the river. This is the report
of the SEIA.
This is the report of NIO.
NIO, right? Okay.
Which they have to do periodic survey.
So they came to the conclusion that there's not much deposits there.
Yeah, they have given the report, but still the government was going ahead with granting the extraction licenses.
Okay.
So we have to tell the NGT that they cannot unless there is a deposition. Only that they can extract. Not beyond the deposition.
Also, I just refer to one more point. I think in the month of May, the government informed the NGT that it won't grant permits for any sand extraction till the NGT decides on the matter. And on 17th of March, NGT had said that the State Environment Impact Assessment Authority cannot issue any licenses. After this, the state government has also given an assurance that it will not grant anything.
No, in the newspaper, there were news that they had collected the application forms and they were about to grant the extraction licenses. Because they said there is no stay. The NGT has not stopped us from granting the licenses. And then it was pleaded that government should not grant licenses till this matter is properly heard and disposed of.
Okay.
So that is why government has said that.
Okay. See, the thing is, Uday, if you can just explain, you can speak in Konkani, there's no problem.
Okay.
This is the legal part.
Yes.
And of course, we wanted to bring out the legal issue. You give us a picture of what is going on in the ground. Let the people who do not know what sand mining is explain to us, to many of people who do not know what exactly is sand mining and the impact it is happening to villages and rivers.
सांगपा म्हटल्यार जे तेरेखोल जे कोस्टलाक तेका जे आमचे जमनी आशिल्ले तेका लागून ते आमचे खूब माडाची झाडां आसली शेतां आसली आनी शेतां अख्खी काबार जाल्ली आतां 2010 पासून 2009 पासून जे आमचे चालू आशिल्ले की आमचे बाबा उगव्या गावात थंय तुमी येवं नाकात थिंगा जे आमचे सँड जे थंय काडटात ते तेका लागून आमचे शेतां वयतात आमची माडाची बी झाडां वयतात तेका लागून आमकां भितर येवचें पडलें की आयज आमची इतली लुकसाणी जाता आयज आमकां तेचेर गव्हर्मेंट कितेंच सांगना की बाबा ते शेतकऱ्यांक कितें दिवपाक जाय किंवा शेतकऱ्यांक कितें कॉम्पेन्सेशन जाय म्हणून आयज आमचे शेतां काबार जाल्या तुमी सँड मायनिंग काडपाक तांकां लायसन दितात जर तांकां लायसन दितात आनी तेंचे तुमी पळयतात जाल्यार आमचें कशें कितें आमी आयज शेताच्या ते शेतां करून आमी खंय तरी आमचे पोटां किंवा आमी पोट भरतात तेका लागून आमी तांकां गव्हर्मेंटाक कोर्टात पेटिशन घातलें सरान आमकां विराज सरान आमकां खूब हेल्प केल्या भितर आतां त्या हायकोर्टाच्यान मागीर ते प्रोसेस फुडें व्हरपाक तेंच्यांनी खूब आमकां हें केलें पूण जाय ते तेचेर हेचेर उलयतात सँड मायनिंगाचेरच उलयतात ते काडपाक तांकां लायसनां दितात पूण आमचें कितें केलां म्हणल्यार शेतकारांक आमकां कॉम्पेन्सेशन कितेंच दिनात शेतां करिना म्हणटा ते आमी कितें शेतां करिना ते पळोवपाक शेतां कित्याक आमी करिनात तेका लागून आमचें उदक भरतात शेतां कोसळटात करून तरी फायदो कितें हे आमचे मेन तेचेर मुद्दे आसा आनी दुसरें म्हटल्यार आमी कितें सांगलां की ते रस्त्याक आमी हायवे जे NH 66 हायवे आहा आयज जर तुमी तांकां काडपाक दीत रावतात जाल्यार ते आमची शेतां आहा ती काबार जावन ते NH 66 हायवेक आमचे हे शेतां काबार जातली आनी न्हंय थिंगा पावतली रस्ते कोसळटात रेल्वे पुलाचो सुद्दां इशू व्हडलो आहा आयज तो पासून ते इशू हे करिनात घेयनात तेका लागून आमकां ते जर सँड मायनिंग आतां केलें जाल्यार आमची शेतांच नश्ट जातली आनी एक मेन म्हणजे आमचे उगवे जी विलेज आहा तितून आमी कोणूच काडिना पूण हे बाकी पोरसकडे तोरशे किंवा एक विलेजी सायटीक ते येतात आनी रातचे काडटात आतां ते रातचे काडल्या उपरांत त्रास जाता आमकां न्हय केसी दिल्यात आमी कोणाक आमी मामलेदाराक कळयता कलेक्टराक कळयता पुलिशेक कळयता आमचे सँड मायनिंग डिपार्टमेंटाक हे आमचे मायनिंग डिपार्टमेंटाक कळयता जाल्यार तेंचेर हे ताबो ना की तांकां कंट्रोल करपाक तेका लागून आमी कोर्टाक गेल्यार कोर्टाचे ते जर मान्य करिनात आणि अशें जर हे करून आमी आतां पासून हालीं जस्ट आमी 15 दिसा पयलीं पासून एप्लिकेशन दिलें मामलेदाराक, मागीर हे जे गव्हर्मेंट जे अधिकारी आहात ते कितें करतात हो प्रश्न आहा. आतां गव्हर्मेंट अधिकाऱ्यांक जर आमी कळोवन सुद्दां ते जर तेचेर एक्शन घेयनात जाल्यार तेज्या फाटल्यान एक तर हेंचेर खंय तरी राजकीय दबाव आसतलो, दुसरें म्हटल्यार नात जाल्यार हेंचें कितें तरी करप्शन आसूं शकता. आमच्या बारीक लोकांचे तुमी आमी आमचें आयकून जर घेनात जाल्यार आमी शेतां कशीं करप ती, आमी थंयच कबार जातले, हें आमकां सांगपाचें आशिल्लें तेंकां.
Very sad story for if one just quickly summarizes what he actually said. The problem here is that firstly farming has been destroyed, secondly farmers have been destroyed, and the pressure of sand mining has completely ruined farming in those beautiful villages there. And the frustration is that they do not seem to be getting any relief from the police, from the authorities, and all the doors that they have knocked. So the issue is that his shock and pain is absolutely visible, and the point is that he's gone to the extent of saying that look, there's literally no hope. The hope, of course, is only in the courts and the litigation that they're going on. But these are people who ultimately are people who have cast their vote. They look at the system for support. They look at governance to at least touch their lives. Here, these are the people who've been fighting again and again and again for so many years. They seem to be knocking all the doors. No doors seem to be opening, and their livelihoods, their very lives, their farming, their farmlands, everything is completely destroyed by this whole menace called sand mining, and nobody seems to be listening. The pain is extremely clear. If you all you need to do is to see the pain behind his words, and that itself is something that tells a story. Ashok, please take over. I mean, whatever he said, can you continue the same thing? Tell us what is happening in your area, as he explained what is happening in your area. I think these human stories are more important.
You know this.
What Ashok finish, I'll come. Just wait 2 minutes, and then we come.
आमच्या गावान
I have to ask you more questions.
तशेंच चलता.
Yeah.
म्हणजे आमी वयता जिवार उठून फोटो बिटो कितें आहा ते डॉक्युमेंट तयार करता, पुलिशेक दिता, कांय यूज ना जाता, परत दुसरे दिसा तेच नाटक. तेती हें सद्या चल्ल्या. लोकूय भियेल्या, कित्याक कांय जायना, इतलें हें करून कांय जायना जाल्यार आमकां कितें करतले अशें. त्या खातीर कांय ना, ह्यो जो पर्यंत हेंच्यो करप्शन हेंचें बंद जायना तो पर्यंत कांय जावं तशी आमकां हें दिसना. ते कोर्टाक मानिना जाल्यार आमकां कितें मानतले, कांय मानचें ना, फुडें कांय ना तेजें. म्हाका दिसता ना, एक अशी एक्शन जावंक जाय, रेव्हेन्यू जावं कोणाक तरी कितें तरी पडो जाय ते, ना जाल्यार जावचें ना तें. कोणाक तरी घरा धाडचो पडटलो, कितें तरी करचें पडटलें कोर्टान. आमी कोर्टाक डायरेक्शन दिवपी कोण.
What about the role of local people, MLAs, police?
कंप्लेंट केल्यार कांय जायना. MLAs कडेन कंप्लेंट आमी अजून करना, पूण आमकां MLAs कडेन कित्याक वयतले आमी, हे पुलीस आहा न्हू, कांयच जायना. आमची लेटरां खूब आहा केल्लीं, पूण कांयच जायना. पुलीस विचारता ती गाडी, आमी हाडून दाखयले पुलिसांक, पळय ही गाडी चलता हांगा रेवेची, थंय विचारता ती रेवेची आहा म्हणून तुका कोणें सांगलें, तुज्यान गाडी हाडूं येता, ही भाशा चलता थंय. म्हणटकूच तेजेर आमी कोणाक दोश दिवपाक ना, सगळ्यात तांकां हें करता. रेवेकारांकूय म्हणून कमी पडना, सगळ्यांक एकदां रेवे व्हडे धाडले म्हणजे सगळे वाडयो लागू जाता अशें ते म्हणटा. हांवूय तितूनचोच मनीस रेवेचो, म्हाका ते सगळे चडशे खबर आसा. सो सगळी ही सिस्टम चल्ल्या ती एंड ना तेका अशें म्हाका तरी दिसता.
Ashok Bob, you had a personal tragedy.
Yes.
Also. Can you share with that a little bit? I know, it will pain you a lot, but we want people to understand what people like you are going through.
जालें कितें ते एक्सिडेंट जालो म्हाज्या चेड्याक, आनी एक्सिडेंट हो जाताच, कोणाकूय जावं शकता, अशें ना की हें आहा. पूण तो लिपोवपाचो जो प्रयत्न जालो आनी जो दबाव म्हाजेर येयलो तेन्ना हांव चवताळो. सगळे सँड मायनींग ट्रक आसलो तो, तेका तेंच्यांनी ती गाडी, तो ड्रायव्हर सगळे सेफली तेका हांगा आपल्या जाग्यार पावयले. एक्चुअली गांवचो भुरगो पिड्यार जाला जाल्यार गांवच्या लोकांनी म्हाका सपोर्ट करपाचो, पूण तशें जालें ना. थंय चलता तें अशें चलता, आमचो धंदो चालू जाता, तुमी कितले मारा. अशें एक्सिडेंट खूब जाले थंय, आनी एका रातीन आनी एका वातीन म्हणटा तशें पचयले बी तेंच्यांनी. सो हे कोणाकडे फुडें कोणाचें जावचें न्हू म्हणून हांव हितून पडलो. कोणाक तें आयकुपाचें न्हू, बेफाम चल्लां सगळें, आजुनूय चालू आहा. कांयच कोणाक हें ना, कोणाक भियेना, कोणाक कांय हें ना. कित्याक डिजिटल तिजोऱ्यो सगळ्यांनी लायल्ल्यो आसा. तुजें व्हडें गेलें अमकें हे तिजोरेन घालपाचें, दिसना त्यो तिजोऱ्यो. दानपेटयो पळय आसा, सगळ्या डिपार्टमेंटाच्यो लायल्ल्यो आसा थंय. ते कोणाक दिसना. तूं मेलो गेलो कांयच ना थंय, वालोर ना कोणाकूच मनशाक थंय. कोण पळयत ना जाल्यार आतां चल्ला तरी पूण सरपंचाक दिसना, कोणाकूच दिसना आमच्या. कित्याक ते खबर ना आमकां. अशें चल्लां सद्या.
Well, Bab, one doesn't know what to say when one hears these kind of stories. Tell me a little bit. See, they are all stories of pain. The idea is that can you just a little bit elaborate? We will go into the legal part later, but let us focus on the human part first. The issue is, if you can also explain, as both of them have done, as to what is the human impact that is happening in these villages due to sand mining and the constant battle that people have to fight against this quote-unquote mafia.
You see, the economics of it, the money attraction for the sand is creating a problem. Now, why people need sand and what is the demand for sand? If you see the legal constructions that are going on, it's hardly anything. If you go to RERA and ask them, what is the quantum of legal business that is going on? And this illegal business that is flaring up by these two regulations. Regulations of Regularization of Illegal Construction Act. You put up any illegal construction and you get your house regularized. You see, and then giving house numbers to any illegal structures. From where do they get the sand? From all these sources, this illegal activity is flaring up right up to the human habitat. Now, if you withdraw these two acts, withdraw these two legislations that are there, some type of relaxation to this illegal activity that is going on by these illiterate people. Who are they? If you are getting one truck itself, the quantum is about 25,000, sometimes it goes to more than that. If you have 4 trucks, that's one boat. 4 or 5 trucks is one boat, almost 1 lakh per day. A 4th standard and a 10th standard pass fellow, will he get 1 lakh per day? Even if you work in, government offices or any.
So you're saying who gets that 1 lakh per day?
By selling it.
Right.
By selling it, and all those fellows in the chain, whether they're Mamladar, Talakis, police, the MLAs after all, they are local representative. Whom do you represent? A thief? So don't you know what is happening in the village? Don't you know that there is sand mining? Did it come from Pakistan? It came from your soil out there. And in my place, Chandor was a port. All this, shipments or slaves or whatever it is, was coming all the way, from places like Ethiopia, Eritrea. And after the closure of this Agasain port, they usually came to Chandor first, with all the trade. And Dr. Rao, who was of that Dwarka fame, he was supposed to do, this excavation and all of the sites.
Right.
You see, by the sounding techniques, it was quite expensive that time. So then he couldn't do anything, so he left. Unfortunately, these fellows came and disturbed the whole thing. They have not only disturbed the heritage sites out there, which are below the river beds, because all the river beds were a navigational source.
Right.
There were no roads that time. People used to come by the river. All logs of wood.
So those beds are completely destroyed.
Beds are destroyed. You have destroyed even the lands. The survey plans are gone out of gear. The coconut trees have fallen. And ask them to take responsibility for that. None of them will come. I'm not involved in sand mining. Who told you I'm involved? They'll come and attack you if you say, you are in the sand mining. They will not do it. They will not own up anything. If you see, ask them to compensate. Even if you see the CAG report, they mentioned the losses to the state exchequer. Imagine you're opening your chest for robbers to come and rob your things out. It's minor minerals. And Dr. Nandakumar Kamath, had rightly said, that places from Uge right up to the Kushavati, he had found bacteria which are only coming from the gold mines.
Right.
And all these river beds, you get these nuggets in the gold beds, in the river beds. And these fellows are just taking the sand and going about.
What is surprising is that the State Environment Impact Assessment Committee Authority rather, it has actually decided to revoke all licenses for minor minerals. On top of that, the government has promised NGT that licenses will not.
They may be doing it for political reason.
right.
They must be specifying them. We will give you the license. You stop. All over the world, nobody is doing the sand mining. It has stopped. It has stopped in Kali River at Karwar. It has stopped in Kanapur side, and latest I heard about Madhya Pradesh also. It's devastating.
Right.
And for what you are doing, you are flagging up a real estate business, destroying the hinterlands. You are destroying you have destroyed your cities. If you come to your city, Panjim, Margam, one building is high, one building is low. What type of planning are you doing? At least leave our villages, in the hands of mercy of the nature. Don't touch that. You see, our hills have been destroyed. You are blasting the hill. Chandor, if you go to see, right from the Chandarnath hill, our hills were going from Chandarnath, Cavorim, Kurtori, Verna, and was settling at Marmangoa. Marmangoa, a Tamilian word, means legs of 4 peacocks. It's a Tamilian word for that. If you go to see, all the hills are gorged, the chicks are caught. From where those muds have gone? You see, are you there in the development, or are you there in destruction of this our place? Huh? What is this going on? Why are you keeping officers there? Suspend them and send them home. You're taking money from the public, as pay scale plus this type of money.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
How this can go on?
Viraj Babu, I'll just come to you. I'll come back to you because you made some very, very important points. Viraj Babu, just a quick legal discussion here. See, from 2018 to 2021, 18, 19, 20, 21, the DMG had not renewed or granted any sand mining permits.
No.
Okay. So how did that, what was the cause of that so-called largesse to the environment?
See, it is normally projected that somebody went to court and the court ordered not to grant any license. It's not like that. The department has not renewed the licenses.
But knowing that this will lead to environmental problems because of
No.
that, not in good faith.
No. When we filed PIL, that time the court asked whether you have followed all the EC norms.
Right.
Then the government said no, we have not, and they promised, like how they have promised to NGT that we will not grant any licenses in Shapura.
Right.
There also they said till we do all those EC conditions we follow, we will not grant. And after that, they have not granted.
Right.
It is not the court order.
Right.
Court has never said not to issue any.
But here DMG did a took a good step not to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have to follow all the comply all the EC conditions.
Right. But then what happened suddenly after 21?
No, they have not.
Still not done.
Still not done.
Right.
Still, see, we are in 2023.
Right.
They have not granted any extraction licenses. So wherever it is going on, it is illegal. In fact, it is affecting
आता
the.
किती चालला ते सगळं आशीर्वादान चाललं.
All blessings.
All blessings.
So, but actually, this is
Blessings on
affecting.
a big way, huh? It's
big
not,
way.
chana blessing. It's, big amounts. If you see, what is the president of the Association of Sand Mining Association said, his wife is complaining to him. At the end of the day, nothing, no money is kept brought up by him. So if a truck is, 20,000, 25,000, from 25,000, by the time he comes home, whom that 25,000 is distributed? Who are those fellows? Traffic police, talakis, mamladars, collectors? Who is involved in robbing this 25,000 of his truck?
So what you are essentially saying to
Yeah,
somebody
all revenue. Of course.
is that when a sand mining truck guy takes the sand out, you are
course.
saying the sand is actually the money, the proceeds of the ill-gotten
Money is
acquisition
all shared by these people.
distributed by
That's why
people.
to this very day they cannot stop that.
आता
Why you
सध्या-
cannot stop this?
आता सध्या चालला पळय आता खरो जो पोटा खातीर धंदो करतालो तेका थंय जागो ना सध्या तरी रेंव काडपाक जो एक व्हडे घेवन आपले वट चलयतालो तेन्ना आतां सगळे माफिया म्हणटा पळय हो शब्द सारको आहा किंवा जेची 5-6 व्हडी आहा पळय तेकाच ते परवडटा सध्या तीच पोजिशन आहा सध्या
Right.
जेची 5-6 व्हडी आहा पळय तोच सध्या चालू आसा आनी जो खरोच बुकेल्लो आहा पळय तो मेलो सोंपला थंय
People are
I
not
mean,
coming
आमचेर
forward.
तो अन्याय ना, तेंचेरूय
If they
अन्याय
are
आसा.
saying what, I'm getting 2,000 rupees, as laborers for sand mining, and ask them to come, to do little bit of work in the paddy fields of the 400, that is the normal wages.
Right.
Nobody you get. They're not coming. If you're giving me 2,000, I will come in our Chikol. Otherwise, I will not come. So this is the disparity, you know, that is causing. Labor is thrown out, money, you know, is just splashed all over, and all robbery money.
The illegal extraction has affected the real traditional extractors. This point to be noted.
Yeah, I'll just
Because-
come to you to discuss this.
Yeah.
I'll come to you on that very point. Don't tell me, see, everybody is saying that, okay, sand mining is bad, sand mining is illegal, we all agree. But there are people in your own villages who are also either involved directly or indirectly in this activity. Is it true or not? Just explain करो.
डायरेक्टली म्हटल्यार ते कितें करतात, भायले लेबर हाडटात ते, आपण ओन काडिनात, ओन होडे घेतात, आणि आतांच ना म्हटल्यार एक 25 सध्या गँग येयल्ले आहात, त्यांचे ग्रुप येयल्ले आहात. 25 ग्रुप येयल्ले म्हणजे ते आता सण काडपाक हे करतले न्हय. म्हाका सांग, ते बिझनेस कशे करतात, होडे घेतात, जे तुम्ही म्हणटात ते ओरिजिन हे आमचे विलेजीस कोण काय म्हणटा, विलेजी अशे काडपाक कोण वचनात, फक्त होडे घेतात आनी भायले गँग हाडटात आनी ते हे करतात. आनी वयल्यान ते हे करून ते कितें करतात, आमकां लॉसीस खंय करतात खबर आहा, रातचे ते न्हय, चड रातचे हे करता, रातचे जे माड बी ते सुद्दां आमचे काडटात, ते नाल्ल बी ते पासून काडटात. इतले हे करता की तांकां विचारपाक वचपाचें ना, ते दादागिरी डायरेक्टली ते कितें आसलेले हातीत घेवन मारपाक येतात. तेका लागून कितें जाता, आमी 4-5 जाण तेंच्या आंगार वचूं शकना, किंवा तांकां रातचे पासून विचारपाक आमी वचूं शकना, कित्याक ते वयर चडलेलेच आसता पयलीं हे करपाक, आनी तेंच्यांनी ते फिल्डींग लायलेली आसता रेंव काडटना. आनी ते जे विलेजीस कोण जे हे आसता, ओनर आसता, ते गाडये घेवन सारके हायवेर रावतात. आमी खंयच्यान सकयल येयले जाल्यार ते थंयच्यान मागीर फोन करतात.
वेल प्लॅन्ड ऑपरेशन.
हय, हे तेंचो प्लॅनिंग आसता.
Locals
तशे
are
पद्दतीन ते
giving
रेव
them a
करतात.
protection schedule to them, telling them, you know, who is coming on the mobile, what is coming, and who is disinfected. You know, the locals are giving them that
इतले हे
protection
आसा
force.
तेंचे. आमी आतां हांगा उलयता, 2 दिसांनी आमी आसतलेच काय ना हेजी आमकांय गॅरंटी ना. इतली तेंचे हाय हे आहा. कित्याक ज्या मनशाचे 2 किलोमिटर भाट जेन्ना दर्या देगेचे पडटा, तो एक सादी कंप्लेंट करिना. कित्याक ताका मरणाचो भंय आसा. गव्हर्मेंट ऑथॉरिटी एक फोलेर म्हणजे ते हे बार्जींग लायट दाखयता पळय ती, तो फोलेर अर्दो घोसाळा अर्दो येता. तो तुळशी म्हणून एक तारी आहा थंय, तो म्हाका विचारता, हो फोलेर आपल्याक डेली विचारता, आतां कोसळ काय मागीर कोसळ. आनी गव्हर्मेंटाक ताका कांय पडलेलें ना तेजें. ते फाल्यां बार्जी पडो कितेंय जावं, तेंचें कांय पडलेलें ना. इतली परिस्थिती भयानक आसा थंय सामकी.
One last question before I go to him. So, at the village level, just say a little bit about your various local fights you had, local struggles, any particular incident which was very major, and just share with people.
थंयच्यान आतां आमचे हे जाता कित्याक लागून पोलीस सारकी कितें ते हे घेयनात, तेचेर केअर घेयनात आमकां. आमी जर तांकां हे केलें, एप्लिकेशन मारलें आनी एक हे दिलें की तांकां नोट दिल्या, जाल्यार ते तेचेर फोर्सली अशें तेचेर एक्शन घेयनात. एक्शन ना घेतल्या कारणान आमकांय थंयच्यान लोकलांक तांकां तेंच्यावर फायट करची पडटा.
लोकलाची नांवां ते हेका सांगता, जे माफिया आसा तांकां, हेणें महालेन कंप्लेंट केलें, अशोकान कंप्लेंट केल्या, बाकरेन कंप्लेंट केल्या, ही नांवां सांगता. मागीर थंयच्यान ते आमकां विचारूंक येता, जावं आमचेर एटॅक जाता, कितें तरी जाता.
You must withdraw these two laws, you know, regularization to illegal construction and giving house numbers to illegal construction. They are the major source of, you know, trouble in the villages. You make laws, and you know the whole setup of illegal things are happening at village level. Withdraw the laws, no?
कोस्टल पोलिसाचे कोस्टलाचे येतात ते एक्चुअली बोटी घेवन येवपाक जाय न्हय, ते बोटी घेवन भितर येवचे म्हणून वयर हायवे घेतात आनी खंय काडटात काय विचारतात ते वयले. म्हाका सांग, रेंव काडटात ते खंय रोडाचेर काडटा, तुमी येवपाक जाय खंय, आमचे बरोबर न्हंयचेर येवपाक जाय न्हय. ते कशे आमचे बरोबर झगडी करता ते पळयात न्हय. हे भायले मायग्रंट येवन जर आमकां दादागिरी करतात आनी ते फाल्यां सकाळीं आमचे एखादे लोकलाक कोणाक मारूनय वयतले, तेन्ना तुमी खंय आसतले? तुमी वयर रोडाचेर रावतल्यात, रस्त्यार रावतल्यात आनी आमकां सांगतल्यात खंय आहात काय म्हणून. पोलिसांक तांकां जर आमी पोलिसांक फोन मारलो जाल्यार तांकां पयलीं कळटा, सारके स्टार्ट मारतात ते मोटराचे न्हय, ते स्टार्ट मारतात वयतात ते.
Already in Sawarkar
Police
there was
पावता
a
म्हणल्यार.
case, where the local from the Punch member, it was an open case now. He was involved in it. I don't know, bail was given and all that, But the question, allegations, that he was involved in went to, they sang beds, reserved for each other. So the other fellow, cow comes in another fellow's field. So this is what happened. He took the gun, and shot that fellow, worker. And who was involved, now the police has caught him.
But coastal police has no role in this. Coastal police supposed to have
No,
boats.
they don't have
They
boats,
don't have the
all type
operational
of
boats.
excuses are given.
I'll explain. In the our judgment that PIL, they had mentioned that the government should provide the operational boats to the coastal police. After that, we used to forward one complaint to coastal police also, and they used to call us and ask. And what they told, and it is there, they have given in writing that we don't have a single operational boat. Then
All across the state, by the way.
yes,
It's only
yes. But now I think they have provided it for some fishing activity control,
Correct.
so they can use it here.
They've done it only now.
Yeah,
But almost
yeah.
for about close to a year and a half,
Yes,
Goa did not have a single operating boat in the coastal police
coastal
station.
police. Yes,
I mean, it was not there in Betul, I know.
yes.
Even in
Raibandar
Raibandar,
also.
there wasn't.
Vasco.
And I don't know about the Shapura area. That belt also there was a police station there. I don't think there was a coastal police boat there also. No, there were in Betul. There were boats. Boats were just lying there. They were defective.
Yeah,
They were not
they're
repaired.
not
All-
operational.
not
Not operational.
मेकॅनिझम
What is it?
सगळ्या इच्छाशक्ती ना
They were made
आणि
defective.
इच्छाशक्ती असल्यार त्यो तिजोऱ्यो भरच्यो ना अशें आहा.
They don't have good
चुकता
intention
थंय.
of stopping it.
इच्छाशक्ती ना म्हणटकूच ती बोट हे जेन्ना तिजोऱ्यो भरना तेन्ना काय फायदो ना.
Okay, Viraj, I'll come to another aspect of this. See, this entire issue of sand mining wouldn't have been highlighted so much, and things would have gone on without any kind of checks and balances. But I think your network, the Goa Sand Protectors Network, has actually come in at a stage when there is at least major litigation or interventions happening. Tell us a little bit about how this network of people, because what is interesting is that there are people all over the state which are carrying on this activity. So how was this network of people built up?
So again, I'll go back.
Oh.
My colleague, who is now 70 plus, but he's not keeping well, Mr. Arun Madgaonkar. He was the person who started actually this, we can say, the sand issue came forward because of him.
He's a silent hero of.
Silent, in the sense he stays on the river bank.
Okay, where is
and,
this?
This is in Khandola,
Okay.
near the ferry boat.
Right.
And his way, it passes through that area,
Right.
where it was a very beautiful area. And the sand extraction started there somewhere in 2014-15.
Right.
And it became rampant. And people around 100, 150 hutments were there. And it was all a nuisance for him. And it started,
In
mentally.
Khandola.
Yeah, Khandola. It affected him. So then we were into some other issues. Then we started, he used to come and we started putting RTIs and we collected the information for almost
is,
2 years.
way
This
back
was in
2016.
2016 to 2018, we collected information. We gave complaints to various departments, capital reports, mines department. We met the director of mines, told them, you take some action. This is all illegal. But then nothing happened. Then we filed a PIL. So he was the person, Mr. Arun Madgaonkar, who really started. I was behind him, I assisted him. He is suffering from Parkinson's, so he cannot move now. They say that it is because of the way he overthinking or whatever is happening in front of his eyes. He's very environmentalist by heart. So after that, we got this judgment. Within 25 days, we filed this contempt petition, first contempt petition. What happened is, after this, this came in the paper.
This first contempt petition was filed where? In the court, the High Court.
No, first PIL was filed through Rainbow Warriors.
Right. But in which court was this?
This was in High Court.
High Court.
PIL was in
All-
High
all
Court.
PIL.
Yeah, PIL was in High Court.
Right.
And in 2019, when the judgment was pronounced, Dr. Claude Alvarez was there in the court, and we used to meet very regularly. Then what happened is, within few days, he called me and told, see, villagers from across Goa, they are approaching us and telling us that, see, in their village also it is going on rampantly, and nothing is happening. Like
Right.
you say, in the paper it has come that court has given strictures and A to M directions are given to various departments, but nothing is happening. So please do something. Then he said, what can be done? We can file a contempt petition. I said, well, we will do it, because in our village, in
So,
Betki Khandola,
huh.
there are 50 canoes extracting sand. Just imagine 50.
Even now?
Not now, that time.
Okay.
So we told, see, this is what is happening. After the directions of High Court, nothing has changed. Then those who were in his contact, he formed a group, Goa River Sand Network Protection Group. And
So people, so what happened was people were already fighting.
Yeah, already
came together
fighting
under one umbrella.
Yeah, already fighting in their own their villages.
Right,
So
right.
we came together.
Okay. So basically, what you're saying is that it's a very unified approach,
Yes,
unified
yeah.
activism on sand mining, which
Yes.
is actually going on. Okay. Udai, tell me now. The thing is, what next? Because the issue is, so many things have happened. The court is also involved, but there seems to be no solution to this. So now, what is the next step?
आम्ही त्यांका रेव बंद जावची हे आमचे ना कायदेशीर जावचे पूण आमची नेटवर्काची अशी घाण केली जाता की तुम्ही ते काडूंक दिना म्हणून आमी तुमकां दिवं शकना अरे तुम्ही कायदे ना जाल्यार दिया मरे तांकां कित्याक वळवळयता तांकां कोणाक अरेस्ट करूं नाका तांकां दिया लायसना काडूनी तांकां आनी कोणाक काडूनी जेका गरज आहा तेकाच काडूनी जेका भूक लागल्या तेकाच काडूनी जो पुलीस आहा कलेक्टर आहा तेका न्हू कोणाक तेजी खरंच हेजे गरज आहा तेका काडूनी कायदेशीर कितें आसा तितून काडूनी तेजें पोट भरता जाल्यार कित्याक आडयता तेका लोकांक कडेन दादागिरी कित्याक करता
What he means is the traditional sand extractors.
कित्याक
They
तांकां
are
हें
suffering
करता
actually.
Yeah, they are
the
suffering.
question comes, कोणा बुक लागोल्या तेंक सगळ्यांक बुक लागोता पयशांक बुक ती पोटा बुक
No, actually, what is most important is the muscle flexing that is
These are
happening.
dangerous elements, they are number one thieves. If Veerapan comes, he would have died seeing them. You see, what is needed, you need to consolidate the river banks first. Ask them, how much they can consolidate the river banks. Protect our river banks first. And then if you want, like him, what he says, then they may. You see, but there are sensitive sites, at least in Chandor.
रेवेकार बारीक रेवेकार आहा ते येवन सांगता आमकां ते काडूंक दिना कित्याक तर ही रेंव काडली समज आमी कायदेशीर केली आनी काडली जाल्यार तांकां कांय गावना न्हू कोण घेवपी आहा पळय तांकां कांयच गावचें ना सो ते केन्नाच हें करचें ना हें अशेंच चलता
I mean, hopeless, huh?
तेरे खोल नदरेर जर पळयशात जाल्यार रेंव काडपाची परिस्थितीच ना सर जो त्या बेल्टाचेर हें करीत नाय जाल्यार 10 मिटरा वयर गेल्ले आहा ते खोलाय जी वाडलेली आहा 3 मिटर म्हणटा न्हय 3 मिटर 10 मिटरा वयर जाल्ली आहा प्लस जे आतां जे कितें रोड पासून जो हायवे रोड पासून जो कोसळून वयता पुलाक रेल्वे पुलाक धोको जाता आयज हेका जबाबदार लास्ट आमकां हे मामलेदार पुलीस मायन डिपार्टमेंट हे हेंकां धरचे पडटले आयज येदे व्हडले रेल्वे पुलाचो जो हे आहा तो कोसळासर ते रावता ते रोड कोसळटात दुसरें म्हटल्यार तेंचे आतां जर त्या पुला कडेन तेंच्यांनी CCTV कित्याक बसयनात ते तेंचे पुलीस डिपार्टमेंटाचे मनीस कित्याक दवरिना आमी तांकां टायमींग दिता आमी नांवां दिल्या तांकां नांवां सयत तांकां हांगले हे पळय हे मनीस काडटात म्हणून तुमी व्हडी धरात न्हय
There are no CCTVs there?
What happened is in Khandola, the government, the High Court directed the police department to deploy a police.
Right.
And despite that, the extraction was going on, and it was shown to the court that see this is what is going on. Then court directed that put a CCTV wherever these this rampantly going on. No, those places at around 5 places the court has directed to put the CCTV.
No, but
this is
no,
what
but CCTV is there.
is
But
there.
who's monitoring the CCTV and giving reports?
It is said that it is in the
Mines
Mamladar.
No.
Mamladar's office.
Yes.
Bicholi Mamladar office.
Right.
But they are not monitoring.
But that is only in Bicholi.
No, in one more place, Pedne, there is a CCTV camera, but they are not monitoring because
only one camera.
no, means wherever.
One set.
In fact, in this particular case, Pedne, no, NGT had fined Goa government for not installing the CCTV camera,
Right.
and after that only they had installed the CCTV camera. But they are not monitoring because though there is a CCTV, the sand extraction continues there.
Even as we speak.
Not at
I mean,
our
not-
place.
not today,
Not yeah. That same place in Ponda, in Pedne.
Still continue.
Yeah, that. So that means they are not monitoring.
Right.
CCTV camera is there, but they are not monitoring and they are not taking action.
And same in Bicholi.
Bicholim, it is stopped. At our near our that area, no, it is stopped.
Not going on.
Not going on.
Okay, but
Totally,
there is a CCTV
100%
monitoring.
stopped there.
Okay.
But they have moved somewhere else.
But according to you, which are
See-
the areas where it is still continuing? In Bicholi, he is saying it is
No,
stopped.
no. It's not. What I'm telling is, wherever the camera can capture, no, there they are not doing. But beyond that, they have moved.
So in every area it is going
असा
on.
हांगा आमच्या
Now,
थंय आसा
in-
एक दोन होडी चालू आसा
Ah,
ती चालूच उरतली कित्याक ते हें आसा
But the scale has come down.
right.
हे कमी
They are-
जाल्या
see,
होडी
they are
कमी
all
जाल्या
like
हांवें सांगलें तुमकां बारीक जो पळया तो व्हडे चलोवं शकना ह्या हितून आशिर्वादाक पात्र जायना
by
तो.
giving the bribes, no,
No.
it is not possible for everybody to
do it.
sustain in that.
खरो गरजेचो आहा तेका अजिबात शक्य ना
Now in Zuari River, that river goes right up from the touching the villages of Ponda, Kurtori, Makazan, the other side, Shiroda. Now what had happened in this river line, if you see both the sides, barges had gone, that time for exports to Germany. And when the barges went, they destroyed the river bank. And all this, thorny plants grew at the side. There were no roads or anything accessible. Now in those areas, it's a long stretch, almost about 30-40 kilometers. And there's no road, where you can go and see what is happening in those places. And there definitely it's going on.
Okay, we'll wrap up in a bit. One more point, the role of the police. If you recall, the Director General of Police had given directions.
Yes.
I think it was
Yes.
ID Shukla. most probably.
Shukla.
Yes. Yes, correct. ID Shukla as DGP, he had
Before
given
leaving.
directions.
Before leaving, he gave those.
Understand, that was one of his last orders. Where he had given specific instructions to all police stations, especially in these sand mining belts, to monitor this very carefully, ensure that it is stopped, and he had made the local police responsible, the PI responsible to stop it. Can you tell us a little bit about the specifics of that order and how the order has got flouted?
No, in fact, that order, there was nothing, I won't say new, because whatever was there in the judgment, no, he quoted that and made it like,
What was it there in the judgment?
like the police people, no, they are supposed to visit that place thrice a day
Right.
and make a note in the that diary, in station diary. And it is very clear that they should not go at the same time. They must go at different times. In night also one visit to be done. So they are not doing, no. See, first department who can stop, everybody passes on the buck, is the police. They
Right.
can stop, but
Correct.
they are not doing. Even if a complaint is done, we have made many complaints on 112. They come there and they say, oh, we can't see anything in the night. There are some lights, but we don't know what they are doing. This is
आम्ही
what is the answer.
कलेक्टराक सुद्धा सर फोन करून पळयलो कलेक्टर म्हणटा अरे तेवटेन पोलतडी काडटा मरे तो सावथ गोवान पडटा तो आता 15 मिटराची न्हंय आनी तितून सावथ गोवा आनी नॉर्थ गोवा खंयचो येयलो ते आमकां अजून गणित कळना
They
कित्याक
take
तेका
advantage of
येवपाचें
that.
ना
In Ponda Taluk, it always happens.
Ah.
Same
Yeah,
issue.
yeah.
15 ते 20 मिटराची आमची न्हंय आसा तितून सावथ गोवा खंयचो आनी नॉर्थ गोवा खंयचो उदक तेवटेंचे हेवटेन येता हेवटेंचे तेवटेन
But
वयता
the
सावथ गोवा
police,
नॉर्थ गोवा
these police, they are telling that in the river we cannot take any action.
The
But
law
then-
enforcers are on the other side. They are on the corrupt side. That's why these things are happening. They are not able to stop that. You can take the horse, near the water, as you say, but you cannot stop them. In spite of orders, go at this time, go at that time. It's
There
very
are
childish
various
order.
orders, but
If
nothing.
you have catch them by the ear,
आमी
or take
म्हणटा
them,
न्हू ते फिरंगी गेले ते उणे गेले तसले तो डीजीपी गेलो ते ऑर्डर गेली अशी सध्या चल्ला आनी काय ना
Penny, same thing.
Same.
The authorities are not doing their duties sincerely. Otherwise, this can be stopped.
See, this police action is something that needs to be taken into account very seriously, because they can actually go and do it.
Yeah, they can do it.
Okay.
They-
Also, I just wanted one more point before we sum up the whole thing. See, the thing is, now when this patrolling happens, patrolling is supposed to happen on a regular basis, whether the coastal police does it or the police does it, or villagers and activists themselves see. Now, when you see boats, often what happens is boats are just kept there. In many places, the sand mining mafia actually keep the boats there and
Yes.
go away, and the police does not touch the boats. Or is it the police authorized to pick up these stray boats lying there?
Yeah, they're supposed
in
to
fact,
keep the captain of
not
port.
the
Ports.
police,
Right.
captain of
Sorry,
ports.
COP, yes.
Captain of
COP,
ports.
COP.
Okay.
COP should.
So the role of the COP should also be brought into this.
yes.
See, at the end of the day, you have the coastal. Look at the authorities that need to be pulled up for this. One, of course, is the
Police
is
first.
the general police. Secondly, is the coastal police as an arm of the police. Third would be the COP.
COP.
For not basically looking after these mining canoes floating around. They can actually seize,
Yeah.
because all these canoes are illegal. At least, if these three authorities do their work properly, to a large extent, the
Yes.
issue can be controlled.
Mines.
See,
And
DMG
the
is
mines
also there.
department, yes.
See,
If the police start acting, the home minister will start acting on him.
आपण
He
सर
will
आता
transfer
किती जाणार
him.
आहे? वो
You know,
business
bring
मोठ्यांच्या
another
हातीन
fellow.
गेला.
The home minister should be answerable to this. How this activity is going on, how the mineral wealths are getting depleted. Shah Commission report has given a report that time of the mines. How much is recovered back? Ask him how much is and what is plaguing him to recover this. Even minor minerals you are robbing.
Right. Okay. Before we conclude just one last round, I want each of you to say that, look, when the rampant mining, sand mining is going on, irrespective of everything else, pending the NGT order, there will be still some time before the NGT final order comes, and after monsoons, activities will start again. So
illegal.
illegal. So my point is, before the NGT gives its order, what should the government do specifically to see that these illegal activities do not take place?
See, if the authorities, they act on the order, judgment
Of
which
the
is
court.
given, no, this will stop. If they want, they can stop. But there are they are influenced by politicians not to act.
Okay. Devap?
ते पळय स्टॉप जाता म्हणल्यार ते जे ओडिया आहात न्हय ओडिया जर न्हय आहात जाल्यार ते स्टॉप जावपाकच मुश्कील आहा कुस्तार आहा ते स्टॉप जावपाक ते स्टॉप जायना कित्याक सांग पळय तांकां ओडिया उदकांत आसल्या उपरांत जाय तेन्ना वचूंक मेळटा जाय तेन्ना हें करूंक मेळटा काडपाक मेळटा स्टॉप जावपाचो प्रश्न देयना न्हय ते आनी हे खंय तरी तेंचे कोणा वयर कोणचो तरी तांकां हें आसा हात आसता ताका लागून ते बिंदासली काडटात ते आमचे कडेन दादागिरी करून काडटात
जोपर्यंत पुलिसांची जावं कोणा ऑथॉरिटीची इच्छाशक्ती ना तोपर्यंत हें कांयच जावपाचें ना आतां हो धंदो बारीक लोकांच्या हातीन ना सद्या 10 ओडी 15 ओडी आसा तेच्या हातीन ना आनी ट्रकूय तशेंच आहा म्हणजे 10 टायराचे चलता सद्या पयलीं आमी 6 टायराचे चलयताले आतां ते 10 टायराचे 12 टायराचे तशें चालू आहा म्हणजे हो आतां मोठो बिझनेस जाला आनी ते मोठे लोक कितें करूं शकता न्हू
Well, Bob, what he says is very important, that there are big people, big business going on, but yet what can be done?
You see, when the ministry takes oath in the swearing ceremony, he claims that he will protect the rule of law. What is the rule of law? That whatever orders are given by the court, whether it's a high court or whether it's an ordinary court, abide by it. You please listen to that, to the orders of the court, whether your attorney general is there, whoever it is there. We cannot, fight battles on behalf of the police. Don't put us across, to fight your battles with the local people and with all these thieves. It is your duty to get down from your office and enforce the rule of law. Whether you can use a phone or whether you can shout loud to a mic, you please get down and you stop this.
Unfortunately, we've come to the end of the allotted time that we have to discuss this. But this is a discussion that should be held in perpetuity. This is a conversation that should never end, because there are two aspects that we need to underline very strongly. One is the environmental impact of illegal sand mining, because the larger fallout is that our rivers, our riverbeds, and the allied natural resources around the riverbeds. It could be your mud, your sand, your forest. There's going to be an overall impact when riverbeds get completely devoid of basic sand. It also impacts river flows. It also will ultimately impact your irrigation and your farming. So there's this entire ecosystem that gets destroyed when sand mining actually happens. Of course, there's an other argument which is put forward by the building lobby and others in saying that, look, sand is actually needed for the construction of buildings. But as LUEL Bab and others have also pointed out, if you look at the amount of sand that is actually required for buildings and the amount of sand which is extracted, the disparity is completely obvious. And the fact that much more sand is extracted than what is actually required for buildings makes it obvious that there is obviously siphoning of the sand away from Goa. In fact, we know and we have witnessed this as well. There are so many mining trucks that not necessarily remain in Goa, but they go outside Goa as well to give sand to construction lobbies even outside the borders of the state. So it is not necessary. This is not only, and apart from this being an environmental huge environmental impact that we are looking at, there are other issues that also need to be looked at very seriously. There almost seems to be, and the allegation is very strong, that the state is not only ignorant, it is complicit. The state is not a judge and a referee. The allegation is the state is a player in this business. So, but the point is, when a referee or a judge allegedly becomes a player in it, then it it's not a win-win battle for anybody. It's actually a losing battle for people who are fighting, and a winning battle for those who are in power. And this is something that the government must address, because you cannot shy away from the fact that there are assurances given by the environment authorities and the state government to bodies like the NGT and the court. And after giving these assurances, if those very assurances are being violated without getting checked by the authorities, then the authorities have to face the charge of being complicit, and a charge that they have not been able to defend, I'm afraid, very clearly. And this is where the problem lies. Apart from the environment aspect and this whole issue of the state being negligent, coupled with the corruption charges that are being leveled against them, because people openly say that if the police is turning a blind eye, if the local MLAs are not acting upon it, if a detailed discussion on the sand mining has not been witnessed in even our assembly. When was the last time when there was a major discussion on sand mining? So obviously the state is failing its people at every level, and that is the third aspect of the entire sand mining fiasco. The fourth aspect is actually the human aspect. The human aspect being that people are losing livelihoods. Uday Bab right in the beginning spoke about the impact on farming and farmers. Traditional occupations are completely dying. Farmers, when farms go, livelihoods also go. Futures go along with it. And then you have villages that are divided. You have certain aspect. You have your very neighbor, and you do not know whether the neighbor is with you or with the sand mining lobby. So societies are getting completely divided. And of course, there are personal tragedies, as Ashok Bab very painfully narrated. So the idea here is that the sand mining is just not only an environmental beast which is consuming all of us. It is affecting every aspect. It is affecting our governance, which is failed to deliver. As far as this is concerned, it is affecting our environment and sand and rivers. It is affecting lives and livelihoods, and it is affecting the basic natural way of life that is witnessed in our villages. So it is a 360-degree devastation which is happening day in and day out. And if it is not happening as we speak now, it is only because it's raining and you can't do it. But apart from these kind of hindrances, there is no other hindrance to stop illegal mining. Of course, there is a glimmer of hope, because the sand mining, the Sand Protectors Network and others have moved the court, and the judiciary has always come to the rescue of people time and again. And it is with that hope that people are still fighting, because one did not face or did not come across any glimmer of hope among all these panelists in the system, as it were, to tackle sand mining, and that is a tragedy that we must leave this discussion with. Hopefully, this fight will get some results, because there are good people in this fight, and we always believe that the good over evil battle is always won by the good. Let's hoping, and thank you very much for being here and sharing so much insight into a very, very important issue that we've debated today. Thank you.
Thank you.